Every Monday. That. I don't know. I wasn't in her house. It's not so much.
Right. That's the number one.
This is something.
2 days, the end of the month will be 2 days. Right now, it's just picking up stuff. Our house. And he's landscaping. I go visit my mom every day. Right. It'd be nice. But I still don't say she knows.
It used to bother me a lot when I first started. Was alone. Yep, married. And only closest relatives when it comes. But you can send the text. So you know that. He was with MS and you about that. I got it.
Talk about what he's done. And you don't know what anyone's done. It's right as all of it's about us.
One of my aunts.
They had it all signed, because they were all performing. So they, I used to always say, Christmas party. Yeah, we trustee, because I was on the finance committee. I need another person, came back up a sign.
Oh, I mean, I got your signature, but yeah. No.
Okay, 7:30, call meeting order. Pledge of allegiance. Oh my God. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please. Mr. Dantley. Here. Thomas. Here. Mr. Harney. Here. Ms. McGuire. Here. Ms. Thorne.
Here.
Ms. Poe. Here. 6 trustees present, we've got a quorum, we've got a meeting. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the minutes of April 21st, 2025. Do we have a motion to so approve?
So moved.
Moved by Thorne, seconded by Diatley. To approve the minutes of April 21st, 2025. Any additions, corrections? Being none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? 6 affirmative votes, no negative votes, the motion so carries. Thank you all. Well, the next item is the president's report, and the first item on that is a civility pledge. Mr. Hoff, before you join this side of the table, could you read the civility pledge for us on the next time?
My pleasure, Steve. In the interest of civility, I pledge to promote civility by listening, being respectful of others, acknowledging that we are all striving to support and improve our community, and understanding we each may have different ideas for achieving that objective.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, the next item is a bit of a throwback. It's the month of May. It is the Motorcycle Awareness Month. In honor of Jeff Seiler, who was a trustee on this board for some 8 years. He was also a big Harley rider, as many of you all know. And every May, Jeff would bring a proclamation by the mayor to declare May as the Motorcycle Awareness Month for 2025. So in Jeff's honor, I proclaim the month of May Motorcycle Awareness Month here in the village of Sleepy Hollow. Whereas safety is the highest priority for the highways and streets of our village and the state. Whereas the great state of Illinois is proud to be a national leader in motorcycle safety, education, and awareness. Whereas motorcycles are primary, common, and economical means of transportation that reduces fuel consumption and road wear and contributes in a significant way to the relief of traffic and parking congestion. Whereas it is especially meaningful that the citizens of our village and state be aware of motorcycles on the road and recognize the importance of motorcycle safety. Whereas the members of ABAT, a brotherhood aimed toward education of Illinois, continually promote motorcycle safety education awareness and high school driver's ed programs into the general public in our village and state, presenting motorcycle awareness programs to over 120,000 participants in Illinois over the past 9 years. Whereas all motorcycles should join ABAT of Illinois Incorporated in actively promoting the safe operation of motorcycles, as well as promoting motorcycle safety, education, awareness, respect of the citizens of our village and state. Whereas the motorcyclists of Illinois have contributed extensive volunteerism and money to the national and community charitable organizations. Whereas during the month of May, all roadway users should unite in the safe sharing of the roads within the village of Sleepy Hollow and throughout the state of Illinois. Therefore, I, Stephen K. Pickett, Mayor of the village of Sleepy Hollow in the great state of Illinois, in recognition of 38 years of ABET of Illinois and over 352,000 registered motorcyclists statewide, and in recognition of the continued role Illinois serves as a leader in motorcycle education and safety and awareness, do hereby proclaim the month of May this year of 2025 Motorcycle Awareness Month. And as Mr. Seiler said, don't move through the intersection until you get eye contact. I would like that to happen. So. All right, that's a proclamation that I've made this evening. The other item I have to report for the evening is the renewal of 2 of the liquor licenses within the village. Sunshine Liquors and Lucky Lady have both renewed theirs. The other is going to be a tad late. Other than that, President has no more report. Clerk's report?
The only report I have for tonight is somewhat of a blinding glimpse of the obvious. The election results are in. Courtney Bowe has been elected by the residents of the village of Sleepy Hollow to be your next president. Also, coming back for a second-year term, our 2-year term is Kelly Thomas. And then we have 2 newbies in here. One by the name of William Hoff, who you've seen wandering through the village, just scowling at every weed that he's ever seen in this place, including my front yard, by the way. And then, of course, Bill Kennelly, this man who sat in the front row for many months now, scowling at me. What I did wrong. But, you know, if we could have a real quick round of applause for all the winners. Thank you very much. That's my report.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Planning and zoning, Mrs. Detmer's not with us this evening. There is no report. All right, thank you. Attorney report?
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Schuster. It's been an honor. Engineer?
No report.
Thank you, Jeff. Once again, it's been an honor. Director of Finance. Mr. Vina.
Request a motion for the approval of the accounts payables in the amount of $125,086.24.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Thorne, seconded by Harney to approve the accounts payable for May 5th, 2025 in the amount of $125,086.24. Any additions, deletions? Comments, questions? Being none? Roll call, please.
Ms. Bowe,
Aye.
Mr. Nadley,
Aye.
Mr. Thorne,
Aye.
Ms. Thomas,
Aye.
Mr. Harney,
Aye.
Ms. McGuire.
Aye.
6 affirmative votes, no negative votes, the motion so carries. Thank you all.
That's all I got.
That's it. Okay, comments, public comments. We have anyone who signed up for public comments this evening?
Me?
Always have public comments.
There's one.
So, just a couple quick things. We have, kind of an update on the farmer's market. We don't see any problems. The service club sponsoring that. We'll end up actually sponsoring two because the one on the 4th of July just kind of gets covered by the overall event. We haven't formally established the insurance yet because I want to talk to farmers market team because some of the club members would like to extend it to 4, have one in September also. I think that'll all get decided tomorrow night with that meeting. And besides that, you know, as part of the service club, I want to thank President Pickett for all the support over the years. It's been a lot of fun. And we've had some great times. And I talked to the club presidents earlier today. And normally we wait until people like you pass away to establish a. Yeah, so I think tomorrow night we're gonna vote on that and put you in there so you'll actually get to see it if you're still here the 4th of July. And is there a way of saying thank you for being such a great supporter? It's been educational and fun watching the village evolve.
Here. Okay, any other comment from the public this evening? If not, we'll move on to the trustee reports, roads and parks, Mr. Harney.
Nothing new to report. However, since it's my last meeting, I'll break protocol a little bit here, and I have a question for the clerk.
Oh,
no.
Can we give him just a?
let's hear the question, then we'll decide whether to let him in.
I think the record shows that our president has been on this board 2 years as a trustee and 24 as president.
That is correct.
And if I can do the math correctly, I think that's 624 meetings.
Might make 6:25.
And is it true that he has not missed a single meeting in 26 years?
That is also correct.
And I would recommend all our past presidents, their pictures are up in the hallway. I think we should put a little placard, maybe a perfect attendance ribbon. One other comment, since this is my last meeting, I've had 2 terms working closely with the Public Works Department. I can assure you that department, headed by Kyle Killinger, is professionally run, and every resident in the village should be thankful of what he does for us day in and day out. That's all I have to report.
Except I have one additional comment. Since you opened the door, Ed, I, as the business records clerk, a custodian, went back and started snooping a little bit. And the interesting thing about what I found is that not only did Mr. Pickett serve 2 years on the board, he also, you know, listened to the clarion call of someone and decided to run for village president. Out of it, he's been here for a total of 7 elections. 2 have been contested, which means that he has shown up 5 times when no one else wanted that job. And that shows the dedication of this individual. And I wore a sport coat tonight, not to swear at it, but because I was not going to be shown up Well, I know there's good legal feet, so I can't do it, so.
All right, thank you, Tony, I appreciate it, really do. It's just my habit, I make a commitment to something, I've got a responsibility. I give it 100% or I don't give it anything. I think I'm gonna try retirement next. Okay. All right, that's it, Mr. Harney?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Ed. Finance, Mr. Thorne.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mark. Water and sewer, Ms. Bob.
We did have a water main issue earlier today, 870 Winmore. But again, as Ed said, Kyle, the Public Works crew do wonderful work. Water's back on. And this one, there is no boil order, so. And we will address the water and sewage stuff in our next meeting as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Courtney. Police and Public Safety, Mr. Diatley.
No report for me tonight, but I will say Kyle's praises as well. We had a water main break on Jamestown last week. I found it, called it in. They were already working on one on Stevens Court. Kyle was there first thing in the morning. He was still there on site at 10:30 at night. So much appreciated. That's all, President.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Okay, Public Buildings and Environment.
No report.
Thank you, Jennifer. Oh, Building and Zoning, Ms. Thomas.
I don't have anything for building and zoning, but as I've spoken to everybody in the past and with Ed, regarding the pool. The pool, working with the Park District, Bill Hoff, myself and Ed have been at many meetings. And I will be meeting with them again this Thursday to talk about a referendum that the Park District wants to do for Dundee Township wide with all, and I was at one of their capital improvement meetings last week that went on for many hours that they asked me to come to see what kind of projects they have and what they want to include for everyone within this referendum. So I will probably be knocking on people's doors again within Sleepy Hollow, explaining everything to people, but I just wanted to give you an update as I have done in the past, what's going on. So I appreciate Ed, all of your support and guidance in this, and Bill, you as well, and I'll continue to attend those meetings just to keep everyone updated.
All right, thank you, Kelly. Old business. Your old business, we have a motion to approve a pay raise for Tyler Ward.
Yeah, so Tyler got his license, his pesticide license by the state of Illinois. Back in October, when we had talked about this, I brought it up to the board. At the time, he was making 20 an hour. We bumped him to 22 an hour because he was doing such a good job. And I promised him if he got his pesticide license that we will bump him to 24 an hour. And he has completed that. He has his license. He's ready to start spraying. Yeah, we budgeted for it, yes.
Yeah.
Motion by Harney, seconded
Second.
by Bo. Okay, motion by Harney, seconded by Bo to award Tyler Ward a pay raise of $2 an hour, $4 from 22 an hour.
Yep.
Any further comment, question, or discussion? There being none, roll call, please.
Mr. Hadley,
Aye.
Ms. Thomas,
Right.
Mr. Hardy,
Aye.
Ms. Bo,
Aye.
Mr. Thorne,
Aye.
Ms. McGuire.
Aye.
6 affirmative votes, no negative votes, and motion so passes. Thank you all. Okay, any other old business to come before the board?
It's not old business, but I would like to recognize Ed and all the trustees, but Ed especially. Without Ed, we would not have a new playground at Sabatino Park. He was instrumental in that, and I just wanted to give him credit. He's.
Okay, that's it. All right, thank you, Kyle. Any other old business to come before the board? No other old business to come before the board? Well, I will make one last comment. Keep it to under 5 minutes. To keep everybody else to 5, keep myself to 5. First off, I want to thank the staff of Sleepy Hollow. It's past and present. If it hadn't been for the staff, this job would not have been as easy as it has been for me. And it's really been to, those people that answer that call, that water main break, that snow plowing, takes the water bills and issues the vehicle stickers and patrol the streets 24/7. It's been the staff that's really made this village what it is today, not just me. So to those people, I'd like to, thank them. And to all the volunteers that have served in these 26 years, I can't think of, all the names. I couldn't remember them. We don't have the time to go through them all, but it really has been the volunteers that have carried this thing through. And I just wanted you all to know that, I really appreciate it. And I have had more fun than is legally possible. It has been a really fun time. I never expected it in my life. Sitting there as a kid reading the newspapers and seeing my municipality adopt a city manager from a mayor position. When I was 10 years old, wow, that's something. And that led to Robert Owen and Thomas Hobbs and a bunch of others. But here I sat for 26 years, having fun. Now it's time for popcorn. All right, no more old business, new business. Any new business to come before the board?
One moment of new business, if you don't mind, before the other motion. Corey in the back, would you bring the box forward, please? We're starting a new tradition since there hasn't been any turnover in recent years. We're having parting gifts for our leaving trustees. I understand you're all ready to leave promptly, but somebody mentioned that they wanted to eat some popcorn. So, and Ed mentioned that he wanted to sit in the audience and eat some popcorn, gentlemen, and heckle us. So on your way out, please pick up a parting gift. You can either eat this at home or enjoy it here for the next meeting.
Feel the same way, little guy. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded. On to adjourn, sign, dine. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That's it. The monkey's off my back. Recess.
Let's take a short recess and then we will reorganize. I know you're right up in the center, so I did it. Yeah.
You were so funny when they saw me near.
What do you mean?
I don't think you have.
Tony?
So slow, you don't want to leave.
Do you have the proclamation?
Okay.
Stay to this and out.
Es que la cámara ya no.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Great, thank you. Okay, where they go?
It's right there.
Alright.
Where do you want to?
There's. I'm moving. Just the second. Yeah, we have. And then those, yeah, I don't. Go watch it. Oh, it's issues.
Like, open. I don't
There's a lot more traffic behind you though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is true.
You get them, but yeah.
All right, folks, we have 2 more minutes left in intermission. Please move to the rest. Oh,
Yeah. So does that mean she was?
Until we.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm like, on the side.
You're gonna keep us in chat.
Yes.
He's here last.
There's a village president sign things.
With the chief. This is the best side of it.
Starting to get too many buffers this yesterday. All right, Kelly.
He doesn't know what that.
We haven't. He's already trying to work. All right, I'll go first, then Tony will come up and do. All right, thank you, everybody, for coming. Judge, if you'd like to come up, please. This is my very dear friend, Judge Julio Valdez. He was recently elected to office here in the Dundee area. We actually met each other through campaigning, and we're just really excited. I'm really excited for you to be giving me my oath. Thank you so very much.
My pleasure and honor.
And if anybody ever speeds in Sleepy Hollow, you might see him. So, this is the way to see the judge. Right? Thank you, Judge. All right.
Please raise your right hand. I, having been duly elected
I, Courtney Ebo, having been duly elected
to the position of village president
to the position of village president
in the village of Sleepy Hollow, Kane County, Illinois,
in the village of Sleepy Hollow, Kane County, Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the village of Sleepy Hollow,
and the ordinances of the village of Sleepy Hollow,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of village president to the best of my ability.
of village president to the best of my ability. I want to John, boys, you were so helpful today. Thank you. I'd like to invite Bill and Kelly up, and Tony, please, as our clerk of the village, will be issuing their oaths.
Of course, I get to follow a pro.
Wait, he had the dress, you had the suit jacket, or the robes, you had the suit, right, you dressed up.
Okay, we're gonna do this a little differently. Because Kelly is, I was gonna say repeat offender, but. Since she is continuing on, you will go first, Mr. Hoff will go second, and Mr. Kennelly will go third. So, you know, you've gone through this once before. And so, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Kelly L. Thomas,
have been duly elected
have been duly elected
to the to the position of village trustee
to the position of village trustee
in the village of Sleepy Hollow, Kane County, Illinois.
in the village of Sleepy Hollow, Kane County, Illinois.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the village of Sleepy Hollow,
and the ordinances of the village of Sleepy Hollow,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of village trustee to the best of my ability.
of village trustee to the best of my ability.
Did you miss any of that part?
I'm not kissing you.
I'm not doing it.
Nothing I do.
I'm not used to speaking this right. I'm giving horses. Okay, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
William Hoff,
Elected to the position of village trustee
having been duly elected to the position of village trustee
in the village of Sleepy Hollow, Kane County, Illinois.
in the village of Sleepy Hollow, Kane County, Illinois,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the village of Sleepy Hollow,
and the ordinances of the village of Sleepy Hollow,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of village trustee to the best of my ability.
of village trustee to the best of my abilities.
Well, let's shake your hand.
Hello.
Good to see you.
I was not kidding when I said someone scowled at me for months. And I did not know it. Okay, raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name.
I, William J. Kennelly,
Having been duly elected
have been duly elected
to the position of village trustee
to the position of village trustee
in the village of Sleepy Hollow, King County, Illinois.
in the village of Sleepy Hollow, Kane County, Illinois.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the village of Sleepy Hollow,
and the ordinances of the village of Sleepy Hollow.
and that I will faithfully discharge
And I will faithfully discharge
the duties of village trustee to the best of my ability.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of village trustee to the best of my ability.
Nothing wrong.
Who gave me a gavel, guys? I have to do it the first time. So it is 8:06, and we're gonna call this meeting to order, please. Everybody will please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We originally had on the agenda, oh, actually, can we roll call, please?
Mr. Hawk,
Here.
Mr. Kennelly,
Here.
Ms. McGuire,
Here.
Ms. Thomas,
Here.
Mr. Dattley.
Here.
They all showed up, wonderful. All right, we do have the minutes of the previous meeting on here for item number 4, but that meeting just occurred, so we will have those minutes at the next meeting. So we are going to jump right on to the president's report. I will let you guys know, the village clerk, Tony, although he does not have a speaking role, does not stop him from giving advice or asking for some favors. And he did mention he'd like to get out of here to go hang out with his friend President Pickett afterwards. So he'd like a short meeting. My mom asked how long this was gonna last. And as you can hear, I don't have a voice, so we're gonna keep this pretty brief tonight and get through the appointments.
I did not get an agenda for this meeting.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
There you go. All right, thank you. Thanks, guys.
I didn't know if it was an email or not.
All right, so we're at the president's report. Thank you. We're gonna begin with the civility pledge. As it is my first meeting, I ordinarily would do the civility pledge. But we had a resident in the village who had a very wonderful moment this past week, and she is here with her new name. I'd like to welcome Anne Marie Ibarra to give us read the civility pledge tonight.
In the interest of civility, I pledge to promote civility by listening, being respectful of others, acknowledging that we are all striving to support and improve our community, and understanding that we each may have different ideas for how to achieve this objective.
Thank you. All right, now we're gonna move on to the appointment of village officials. First order would be the village clerk. This guy sitting right next to me. We are seeking out some assistance with the clerkship, but for now, Tony is gonna stay with us for the month of May, and we're gonna figure that out in the next month of how we're gonna proceed over the summer. I just would put them and ask them to. Board, So- yes, I'd like a motion. I'm sorry.
Do one at a time or all together?
Oh, okay, I'll make appointments for the staff all at one at a time, and if we need to discuss separately, we can. I would like to appoint Tony Mills as the village clerk. Samuel Parma as the village chief. Building code official and zoning officer will be Barb Detmer. Village attorney, Mark Schuster. Village engineer, Jeff Steele. And the code enforcement officer is Jeff Fleck. Do I have a motion to approve the appointment?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Diatley, seconded by Thomas. Are there any comments, questions, or discussion? Hearing done, this would be a roll call vote because it's appointment. Gentlemen?
It wouldn't have to be, but
Okay.
if you wanted
It's up to
to.
you.
Oh, we'll just do a quick
Call
roll.
for us.
Roll call vote for this, please.
Mr. Hoff,
Yes.
Mr. Kennelly,
Aye.
Ms. McGuire,
I,
Ms. Thomas,
Aye.
Mr. Dad.
Aye.
5 affirmative votes, 0 negative votes. The motion passes. Thank you, everybody, for your continued service with the village. I'm looking forward to working with all of you, and especially with your knowledge of history and the transition. We've had a couple meetings and we're gonna do some great things. Now, as for the trustee committees and liaison positions, as well as seating assignments, as you can see, these will be your seats. I wanted to move it up, change it up a little bit. We do have a vacant spot here for a trustee yet to be appointed. That would be my vacant seat. President Pickett did inform me prior to this that whereas he usually assigned one trustee to each of the positions, I do have the option of doing 2. But in order to maintain Open Meetings Act when we're in attendance, I as president will attend, observe, listen, but if I make any comments, I'm there as a resident taking in information. And so I would like our trustees to have more of an active role in their committees and more teamwork between each other. So I'm going to be assigning 2 trustees per position. There will be a lead trustee, lead liaison. If it's a committee meeting, they will be running it. And then there'll be a second chairperson there who also I want to get some ideas. I want people to be able to bounce their ideas off of one another instead of just going it alone. There's a lot to do, and I think we've got a couple of new members. It'd be nice to give them all some help in getting through this. So without further ado, I told people I've never been married, but this was like a seating chart for weddings. It was awful. People moving around all the time. Trustee McGuire, I would like you to be in charge of the water and sewage liaison. And then your second chair will be Bill Hoff. Likewise, Bill Hoff, I'd like to appoint you as finance chair. And your second will be trustee McGuire. Bill, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go with trustee Hoff. You have a wonderful background in econ as well as you participated in our economic development and finance. And trustee McGuire, you brought up a lot of great points about our village needing to find ways to fund things. And as we've all seen this week, we have some water and sewage stuff that needs to be taken care of. So between the two of you, we're gonna coordinate and start working out a plan and figure out how we're gonna pay for these water mains and get some of this stuff squared away. Not to give you guys homework right off the bat. Next, I have buildings and parks. Well, buildings and, I'm sorry, buildings and environment. That's the seat that will remain open for right now. I have 60 days to make that appointment, at which time the board will have the option of approving or disapproving. And we're gonna use that position in a stronger environmental role. Environment was always that second word that kind of got ignored for quite a bit, and I think there's a lot we can do here. A lot of the residents are very interested in participating. So now I just need to find one of those people who wants to help guide this into the future with us. I've got lots of good ideas and a lot of volunteers who want to help. The second chair of Buildings and Environment will be Bill Kennelly. And then likewise, Bill Kennelly will be the lead chair on Roads and Parks. And then second chair will be the vacant trustee who's yet to be named. I will be taking over that role for the 2 months while we're figuring that out. Not taking over, overseeing. Then last, that leaves us with our veterans down here on the right. I'm not changing this one up. Steve Diatley, you and the chief have a wonderful rapport. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys continue to work well together. And I know there's some plans you guys wanted to follow through with. And Kelly, you and Barb are really getting into our codes and our permits, and you're getting out there and talking to the residents. I think we're going to keep that going. And then you two will be each other's respective second chairs for roads and parks, and then police and safety. Excuse me. But no more passing notes and giggling over there. Sure. All right, so those are the appointments for the trustee committees and liaisons. I will reach out especially to our new gentlemen, Bill and Bill, just to go over some pointers with Robert's Rule of Order and procedure. And we will sit down with Eugene as finance director to help you understand that. And then Mark and I will come up with some pointers for procedure. And then we have an Open Meetings Act and a FOIA Act training session coming up. So I will follow up with you guys this week on that. Get you guys all of your learning, so you know what we're doing in the meetings. As for there's all right, clerk's report, please. No reports.
I'm good for your report.
Barb Detmer is not in attendance tonight. She does not have a report for planning and zoning. Mark Schuster, do you have an attorney's report?
No report.
No reports. We do have one. Mr. Steele, the engineer report, please.
You guys could make your first decision. So, over the past month or so, is Kyle and I have been working on the 2025 street program. Bill was gracious enough to ride along with us last week, was it?
Yes.
To take a look at the streets with us. I had some lot of good insights and as far as figuring out just what we have to deal with. This year, and talking to Eugene, is we're hoping to have $145,000 for the street program. This MFT funds, basically holding off the additional money that we would normally have for other projects throughout the village. So just to give you an idea, as far as streetwise, what we have is typically it's around $60 a foot in order to pave streets, and around $50 a foot per square yard of patching. This leads to around about a half a mile of paving that we can do each year with that $145,000. And talking with Kyle is we had numerous lists, at least as far as streets that we want to pave or need to pave. We shortlisted it down to Willow Lane from Hemlock to West Dundee border. Hilltop Lane from Joy to Hialeah, okay, Hialeah Court, Surrey from Locust to Glen Oak, Sycamore, which is the little turnaround area through Fair from Locust and Hillcrest, Sycamore, right, I just said Sycamore, Van Tassel Lane, and Timber Drive, Timber Drive. As you can tell, as I only know them by the first. So basically is in our drive-through is we found numerous patches that need to be done throughout the village. Basically is we're looking to do about $12,000 worth of patching. And then recently now with water main breaks is we're gonna have to do additional patching on that. So we're looking for around $22,000 for the patching itself. Secondly was Willow Lane really needs paving from Hemlock to West Dundee border. It's one of those where it's just kind of been put to the wayside. It really needs to get done. That ends up being around $53,000. That's complete or a 4-inch grind and then overlay on top of that. Secondly was South Club entrance is it's at a condition where the surface is really starting to be bad and it's getting to an area where we're gonna need to patch it soon. However, is given how the base is actually in good condition and the surface just seems to be deteriorating, is we want to actually just take off that surface coat and then repave it. That ends up being about $23,000. So next would be Daniel Court actually has a lot of ponding, and over the years is we've just been patching that court back there, and with that is just because we haven't been able to fill in any of the low spots, is that water just continues to deteriorate the road. So we're looking to at least grind off the surface course on that and actually make it so it's proper drainage on there. And then with that is we have some money left over and we'd like the board basically maybe put in some insight onto that. So what we can do is either do small stretches of Hilltop Lane. That's basically one of the worst that Kyle has when he starts paving is if you ever drive across it is there's bumps all the time on it. So with that, we'd be able to do maybe about 500, 600 feet of road on that. However, Sycamore is in worse condition, basically from Hilltop up to where there's that turnaround area.
Yeah, from Hillcrest to like the half horseshoe cul-de-sac on Silver Lane.
Is basically on that is we've been, again, it's one of those where we've been patching over the years and there's so many trees overhanging that area that the water just sits there and it's always wet. So basically is we'd like to repave that and then is with that, we'd have some remaining funds that we just be able to like to do some various patching either on Hilltop or if something kind of pops up on that. So it's kind of our thoughts on street program.
Nothing to really add other than I highly recommend we pave Willow from Hemlock to the city limits of West Dundee. They paved their section last year. Especially in the winter when you drive on our section, it's a big one of these big dips in the winter time. And then if you ever drive past Kindercare, there's a concrete curb there and it's just crumbling. And it's I had the guys go out there to clean up all the potholes that get scraped up with the plow, and I think we filled 15 5-gallon buckets of the pothole mix, so it's time for it. But other than that, it's up to you guys too. If you have any recommendations or if you're driving around and you notice something that you want to ask us and you know, put it on the list, or if you think something's more priority, we're always open to that.
So what we typically have on the budget for that, you said then was 145,000, that's from the MFT funds?
Yeah, that's through the MFT funds, and then typically is Eugene is thankfully good enough to come up with some additional funding, but I know he wants to save it or do the 2 culverts on Hillcrest and also Thoroughbred, so.
And that was gonna be my next question then with Eugene. So we have a matter coming up on new business about some of our projects that I'm wondering, can I bring that up now? Yes, where do we stand with the funding for the culverts from the last time?
So we were moving ahead with the culvert on Thoroughbred because we had the money from ARPA.
Okay.
We're gonna do that.
So that's the ARPA funds, and then what we're looking at is the MFT funds, but okay. All right, so you indicated we're gonna try and go, you want to repair up to $145,000. You said the Willow would take about 53,000, we're thinking,
Yeah,
and then 23,000 for the Saddle Club entrance.
Yep.
And then I had 2 numbers down, I have 12,000 for patching, but then you said 22,000 in like, is that in
Yeah,
addition to, or that's?
yeah,
what
that's
breaks
in
that?
addition to it, just because there's some areas where if we didn't have funds, is they could hold off, but if we have funds, which we do, is we'd be able to do them, and it'll really help out as far as that's concerned. Plus, Kyle has a lot of water, so we gotta end up doing this year.
I'd like to open this up to discussion. Any of the trustees have any questions, comments? Bill Kennelly, would you like to tell us all about your drive or what you saw out on the roads?
Well, I think that Beth has highlighted everything based on everything that I've just heard. And the idea is obviously the roads that are in the worst condition, but also the ones that are most heavily traveled. So entrance ways versus cul-de-sacs sometimes takes a priority. But I think that from the numbers that you just shared with us and the measurements of each one of those roads is right in line with what we met. So I'm comfortable with what's been presented.
At this point, this is just presenting the street program. We don't actually, or do we approve the list? No, we're just. I'm sorry, you shook your head. Mark?
Are you?
We're not allocating any money. We're gonna-
I say, we're not allocating money yet, it's basically, is this will then precede us into actually making the contract.
Can I have a motion to accept the list in the priorities so that the engineer can proceed with setting up a repair program?
I motion to accept that.
Moved by trustee Thomas. Do I have a second? Second by Kennelly. Any other further discussion? What I understood is we'd be prioritizing Willow and Saddle Club entrance and then the patchwork. And then you have a list of others. And so we'll kind of adjust the first few and then get some estimates and we'll discuss it in greater detail once we get. the
Yeah,
bids.
once I actually get some part of numbers and everything.
Thank you. Anything else from the engineer? Oh, wait, we need to vote, sorry. All right, any other discussion, comments, questions?
Kyle, were you able to get a cost estimate on the culverts on Crane?
Still waiting for it. We might be able to line it. I'm waiting on the contractor to come out and take a look at it. The contractor I contacted about cutting the road and ripping out for the new, they weren't comfortable in it because they would have to rent a bigger machine than what they have because it's 2 36-inch culverts and it'd be too wide for their machine to do. So if we can't line it, we might have to throw it under Jeff's contractor or whoever wins the bid, see if they'd be interested in doing it and then getting a price from them. And going about it that way.
Thank you.
No further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All five affirmative votes, no negative votes, the motion passes. Thank you, Jeff. And we will turn then to Eugene, Director of Finance, for a report, please.
I don't have any.
Oh, okay. Do we have any comments from the public? There's sheet back there. John Florence, did you want to speak to us again?
It's too early.
But I will be brief.
Thank you.
First,
Always a pleasure.
welcome to the newly seated board and president. We all have high hopes. We've all heard from previous trustees and some current. One of the headaches they have is they don't hear from anyone. This is a job, they need input, they need the tools to do the job, that's information. If you see something, let them know. If you have an idea, let them know. It may not be the answer, but maybe it's the seed that gets us there. So let's just work together. Support them, give them what they need to do the job we're expecting of them. Thank you.
2 minutes.
Thank you.
2 minutes.
Thank you, Pete. I appreciate that. That was fun. Thanks. All right, no other public comments? Well, guys, trustee reports. It's a pop quiz. You guys ready? We'll just go through real quick. Roads, parks and streets. Mr. Kennelly,
Nothing to report other than what we already did.
thank you. Finance, Mr. Hoff, trustee Hoff.
No report tonight, still too new to have any value.
Trustee Hoff was trying to start doing the job from the moment he could. The oath. All right, trustee McGuire, new water and sewage.
Nothing on that other than 3 water main breaks in a week is
Yeah.
ridiculously absurd and we absolutely need to look into maintenance. So that's the first thing we're gonna do. And then I am glad to hand over the beaver problem to you. We have a giant beaver problem going on right now with 3 dams made at the moment, I think it is. And so starting tomorrow, I'm copying you in all the emails and you take it over.
This is the one over on Surrey,
It's
back
it.
into Jelky.
It's in Jelky, but he's
Okay.
got 3 dams right now. Erin Brewer from she's only got about a week left. So she's trying to help us, but it's backing up Jelky Creek. There's 2 beavers. They have, we gotta figure out what it is, but they have, I think it's King County has given them a permit to capture the beavers and rehome them. But in the meantime, we have to break up the beaver dams within probably the next 2 or 3 days.
Thank you.
So,
When you
just a
forward that,
question.
when you forward
How
that
is that-
information to trustee Cannelli, please.
I
send it to
will
me as well.
definitely give you.
And we will discuss it together, Bill.
I'd be happy to see that.
Me too.
But how does that come into roads and parks?
Oh, wait, aren't you environment?
Nope, that's me, but he is
Oh.
the second chair for environment.
All right,
so
well, you're-
we'll learn now.
You're the
Okay.
substitution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Google breaking up beaver dam.
It's some rubber pants and go out there to help those residents.
Well, I was in boots today in a crate, we'll be fine. Police and public safety trustee, Thomas. Are you guys giggling again?
No.
No report?
No.
Public buildings and environment, that will be me, so we will get on the beaver issue. And actually, speaking of this, I do have a segue through to this. At the last meeting, when I had less of a voice, I made the announcement that there was a bat found in a house up in Saddle Club. We do not have the formal test results back from the county, but I have gotten verbal affirmation. There's no rabies, everything was handled really, really well, and bats are our friends, so.
I have bats in my house every spring. I didn't know it's a whole report.
Because the potential for clearing,
Oh.
yes. But we will educate the rest of our residents on that as we learn how to get along with beavers and foxes and bats and all the other critters in the village. I'm almost done, guys. There we go. And then, building and zoning. Oh, I asked you for place. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Trustee Diatley, would you like to go back and anything on police and public safety?
No report tonight.
Thank you. And building and zoning.
No report.
Thank you. All right, that moves us through trustee reports. We are on to old business. We are new. We have no old business. We do have an item under new business. This is discussion of future capital improvements for a proposal that was requested by Representative Ness. She reached out to us. She is looking to bring in some state funding for some of our local municipalities. She asked us to come up with any shovel-ready projects that we have moving forward, where we already have money, where we can pay for it upfront, because this would be an appropriation, this would be something we would get a couple years down the road, like the DECO grant, that we've found out takes a while for that to get processed. So I've spoken with Kyle and Jeff, and we'll discuss now a little bit with Eugene, but it sounds like we have the project with the culverts that we want to get moving on, and that might be something, it's a very high price tag, and we'd like to get that before them out as a request to get some reimbursement. And there's no figures that have been quoted, they just want to know what's going on so that she can then make the case for us getting allocations. Other trustee, or actually Kyle, Eugene, and Jeff, if you don't mind speaking, does that sound like those are the right ones, the culverts for this type of?
At this point, what we would suggest is the Thoroughbred culvert.
Okay.
I talked to Denise and Representative Ness' office today. And once we get the approval, we're still gonna have to go through all what I went through for the DECO. This is not gonna be an easy.
Okay.
They're not giving us money.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of work involved in it. But the nice thing about that particular project is it's easy accounting wise to explain it. You know, and then this way, any money that we get from that, we can then shift towards.
I remember
The
you
other
saying that with the
projects.
DECA grant. I was
Yeah,
wondering if
it-
this would be what
It
this
was a
year.
nightmare.
Good, okay. Let me know how I can help with it moving forward.
Yeah, there's not much that anyone can really do. It's just bureaucracy and red tape.
Okay, oh, we're in the right.
Yeah,
lane of
since
business.
Yeah.
All right, trustees, do you have any questions or concerns or comments about what we've discussed with respect to that? There won't be any motion on it per se. It's just we wanted to come up with a list. Is there anything else pending that you can think of that you want us to get on this list as Representative Ness?
Cool.
That unfortunately is under the township jurisdiction or the park district.
They said they sell it for $10 to us.
No, they didn't.
Okay, I will reach out to them and find out if.
There's a reason they'll sell it for $10.
Who did
Exactly.
they,
cost
who did you talk?
It was the president, he said it a couple years back, he's like.
Yeah,
"Would you be
that's
interested in-"
not the case
Okay.
anymore.
Well,
I've been at all the
look into
meetings.
it.
I've
Thank
been
you.
at every meeting and that is not the case. I'm telling everybody, I've been at every meeting. Ed Herney's been at the meeting. Bill Hoff's been at the meeting. They are not going to sell it, and the person that they'll talk to is our president, if that's even consideration, but right now, they want to include our pool with Randall Oaks in the proposed referendum for all of Dundee Township, along with other things that they need to fix. The golf course clubhouse at Bonnie Dundee is over 100 years old. That needs to be included. There's elderly services that need to be included. There's child services that need to be included. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be, programs that need to be included, and they want to include this all in this referendum within Dundee Township, all of Dundee Township, so that they hope that it passes because it's hitting everybody. And Sleepy Hollow Pool is part of that, going to be part of that referendum. So they aren't gonna
Unless we
sell
fight
it
for
there.
it.
And it will only cost us more if it comes out of that, like if the residents, if somebody wants to do a referendum just for Sleepy Hollow, we can't, just so everybody knows, that cost on your tax bill is not gonna go away to the park district. We will still be paying taxes on your tax bill for the park district. Plus, if you want to do a referendum here within Sleepy Hollow, it's gonna increase. So I'm just letting everybody, and you're welcome to come to the meetings and hear the same thing. I'm not lying to anybody. I'm not giving you garbage. I'm telling you, it's not for sale.
Trustee Thomas, you said there's a meeting this Thursday that you're going to?
Yes, that is
Okay.
just for myself
Yeah.
and the director and the president and someone else to find out, because I missed a meeting. It had to do with the a gentleman who did the referendum out in Huntley and helped with the one in Mount Prospect. Huntley did an 18.5 million referendum and included all of their capital improvements. And it passed. So he's going to help the park district try to do something like that with all of Dundee Township. They helped with the Mount Prospect one, which was way more than 18.5 million. So Evanston as well. So that's what I'm trying to be at these meetings. I missed that one meeting because I was out of town for family business. And I'm going to catch up on that. Pat Malia and Rhonda Schatzberger are two of the other residents that are part of this committee. I'm on it as a resident, not as a trustee. So I am on it as a resident like the rest of you. And there's two residents from every town, Algonquin, Gilbert's, East Dundee, West Dundee, Carpentersville. And they are part of this aquatics committee. So we are working together to get this done so that I'm not giving up. I want that pool just like everybody else. So I'm fighting for it just like everybody else. And if anybody has any questions on it, feel free to call me. I'm at every one of those meetings.
Right. Thank you, ladies. Did you have anything, Mr. Finale?
No, I
Okay, sorry. All right, we will submit that list to Representative Ness. And we don't have an executive session for today, so it seems that we are done with new business.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
all of those, any comments, questions, discussion? Jenny's gone.
Nope, I'm still here.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? You guys have it. Thank you very much, folks. Meeting is adjourned at 8:38. Okay. See you. That's.
Yeah, zero.
Are you coming over?
Yeah.
What's going on, Rick? Wait.
Let me see where you're going.